Alright guys, I want to show y'all how to create the first chair to help get y'all started on this kind of 3D modeling process. There's a couple different ways we can do this. I'm just going to show you what I think is one of the easiest ways of doing it. Is I just want to create my default cube, and that's kind of the first thing I'm going to start out with. The main things I was wanting you to understand with this lesson of these chairs is how to start from a primitive, how to add detail to that primitive, to change the shape of these primitives in order to build all of our objects. The stuff I'm going to show real quick here are going to be some of the fundamental building blocks. No matter how many polys and whatever models you're going to make, they're almost always going to be using something of this process. And basically it just comes to using a few simple tools and using those simple tools well, and then using your components and moving your components around. So here is my basic cube. Alright, he's a lonely little guy. He's just kind of sitting there. And what I want to look at is I'm kind of analyze my object here a minute. And so if we look, we know this chair is going to have these two legs and this back piece going to kind of come up. Alright. In the end, this is kind of the image that we're going for. So looking at it, we have this back piece and these legs that are going to come out for this first basic chair. So what I'm going to actually do is, instead of inserting some edge loops here, which I can do, I think I'm actually going to start with adding the geometry just with the channel box. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and go to my inputs, and then where it says subdivisions width, I'm going to add, what, 2 there? Yeah, one for each leg. And then where it says depth, let's add 2 more that way. Alright, so that we now have this wonderful cube, and then it has all these wonderful subdivisions to it. Alright, so turn the wireframe on so I can see what I'm doing. So next thing we have is, let's get the chair into position. First thing I want to do on that is, let's look here, and you can see where this chair and that chair don't exactly line up. Well, instead of moving the chair, I'm actually going to move the components. Okay, and to get to the components, we hold down the right mouse button, and this brings up our component pinwheel. Alright, vertices, edges, faces, the object mode itself. We have UVs, you have multiple components, vertex faces. This little pinwheel allows us to quickly grab and switch between the different components of this object. Alright, it's one of those things you're going to be using this a whole lot as you move around in modeling in Maya. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this object. So let's hold down X, and I'll just move it over, move it up, boom, 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 no big deal. And then this is going to be the seat, so everything should be based off of where the seat is. So let's go to Vertex, and what I want to do is just start pulling these vertices, line them up, and snap them to where the columns are inside the on the image plane. Okay, boom, and boom. All right, so that should make it about the perfect thickness. All right, now let's check it from this side over here. All right, so that's lined up well. Let's go to the side view here. This is getting kind of hard to see, so I know on the video this is going to be a little different. But what I want to do is just go ahead and move these and snap them along. Alright, now if yours is looking kind of like mine, where you can barely see the way these images, the way it's looking through the image plane, show you all a quick secret to getting a little bit better result is, let's go to our image plane here where it's giving us the difficulty. I'll go to my the attribute editor, and right here it's going to have the image plane set shape 2, and what I want to do is I'm going to turn this color gain down a little bit, and I'm going to turn my alpha gain down a little bit, and then create a situation where it's about 50% transparent. Maybe I turn the color down a little bit. Do the same thing for this one over here. Let's turn the alpha gain down, turn the color gain down a little bit, and then that way that they're more transparent, I can see through them. And when I go to my views over here, I can see my shape. I have to turn that one back up a little bit. But So I can see my shape, and I can also see my own object a little bit better. So it's a little bit more. There we go. Something along those lines. All right. So here's the object. There is my gray chair, or in this case, my wireframe chair. And see the vertices there. All right. So the next step is going ahead and let's extrude out the legs and the back. That's one of the nice little tools, one of the fundamental tools in using Maya is going to be the extrude tool. So let me hold down Shift, go in component mode, okay, component face. I'm going to select each one of these faces in the back, and I'm going to come up here on my little hot bar, and I'm going to hit extrude. All right. Again, that changes the reticle, or changes my gizmo, so now I can pull up. All right, with the extrude tool. All right, so that's going to be our top. In this case, I'm going to hold down X for snap, and I'm just going to snap that up at the top like that. All right, so that's going to be the exact height that I'm looking for this model. And then, so that's the back of that piece. Now the next part is I'm going to select each of these 4 legs. All right, and then I'm going to hit extrude again, and then pull this down. And if we look at our side view here, it should snap to the ground plane, so just hold down X and it snaps. Okay. So there we go. There's the first chair complete. All we did was use the extrude tool and then some component moving, and we managed to create our shape.